You are next to me in this boat we made, sailing across the waves. When we reach the sea, don't give up on me. We still have a day to make our getaway. Living on the edge is the way to go. We'll drift off with the wind behind us. If you're feeling scared, I can be your rope. Pull you in, keep you safe and warm. So please don't leave, baby, don't lose hope. Put your mind at ease, it's a long way home. Cling to me on the ocean road. I could set you free, let me be your lifeboat. ocean breeze bring you to your knees. When we reach the sand, you will understand. Baby, don't you see, we are all we need. Just another day to make our great escape. Let me be your lifeboat.
Mic was muted. Okay, take two. So basically, what we're going to be doing is adding a new adding stats like health and stamina to your player in the game. We're going to be using a plugin called Multiplayer Combat Editor. It's for about $45-50 on the Unreal Marketplace, and I would say that's definitely a buy. I would say this is definitely something you should need because this makes it a lot easier to add like health, stamina, mana if you wanted to. And different modifiers, like if you pick up an item that increases the damage you do with fire, or it adds to your health and stuff like that. It makes it easier to add different combat systems, like for guns, swords, magic, melee and magic and stuff like that. So this is going to make it a lot easier from what I've seen with the tutorial videos, which if you do go check this out, you will notice that they have like the developer has like a massive section of how-to videos. He walks through every bit of it. This is something I wish every plugin developer would do. There's some that just don't even put anything up on their website. They just say, hey, buy this. This is what it does. Buy. So I find that this is very helpful because he gives you a lot of instructions. He has a Discord channel that he'll actually he's actually responded pretty quickly to my questions. So I would definitely recommend this plugin. It's called Multiplayer Combat Editor. And once again, it's on the Unreal Marketplace for about $45-50. So definitely go check this out. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is, if you haven't already, create a widget folder in your blueprints folder. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a blueprint class. And we're going to look for stats overlay, stat overlay. Going through and actually setting up which is something that reminds me. I got to go through and actually add some of this stuff to the player blueprint. So we're going to do that first, and then we're going to come back and add the blueprints and stuff. Just reminded myself, because I've already done it before earlier today, but I deleted everything just for this, just to show you guys how it's done. I completely forgot I was going to have to do this. So you're going to go into your player blueprint. We're going to go to, I'm going to go to my BP character, which is a child of the BP character base, because this is the one that is actually going to be in the game. This is in all the different game modes and stuff like that. So this is the one I actually want to do all the work in. The reason I don't want to do it, in character base is because it could also show up in the character preview, which is in the character options. Now, if I want to be able to display the person's health and a bunch of other stats in that screen, then yes, I would do it here. But right now, there's no plans for me doing that. Right now, the character options is just where you can select different skins and hats and guy wear and all sorts of other stuff. Down the road, if people want to see it, and if it looks like something that could be beneficial, then maybe I'll add it down the road. Maybe. But for now, we're just going to do it into the character that's actually going to be showing up in the game. So that'll be BP character. You'll be adding these two things, which is what I'll show you through the tutorial videos on its website. So right now we're going to concentrate on what's called the BP Stat Manager. And as you can see, I already have some stuff already linked together for the Combat Manager. So what we're going to do here is we're going to right-click, add an event, and we want on ready, which we'll use later. But the one we really want is on initialization. So then after that, we're going to click and drag out. And then we're going to add a stat. Add stat, BPC Stat Manager. We're just going to straighten this up just a little bit, put that there. Move this here. And the first one we're going to look at is health. Minimum value, of course, is 0. The max value we'll set for right now as 100. Client stat. Okay, so what he explained to me on his website or in the tutorial videos is checking that forces the updates to the client faster, across all the players. So it may cause a little more use of bandwidth to send the information back and forth like that. But this actually keeps everything up to date as far as like how many hit points you have, how many manas, and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and click that. Then I'm going to highlight those. Control W to copy and paste. We're going to link these two executions together. And the next one we're going to do is stamina. So we're going to do that there. Oh, forgot. Got to type in health here for that stat name. And stamina here. And then let's see, 100. Yeah, 100 should be fine for right now. Also, we need to make sure that the controller, or I'm taking the actual local controller, and instead of it possibly being on possibly a dedicated server, or the code that actually runs kind of like on the host or the server host and stuff like that. I actually don't want to be affecting that. I want to be affecting what's the local controller on the player's computer itself, or in the player's code, I guess, in there, if you want to do it like that. So we're going to do a branch here, and then we do a command call to check to say is local, and I need to spell is locally controlled. I'm going to plug that in there, and if it's true, we are then going to let's do HUD. Let's look for a HUD in here. Spawn overlay. The one we want is stats, spawn stats overlay. That's the one we want. Plug that there. And then that's pretty much it for that for now. We've all got it all plugged in, so that all now we need to do is just actually create the overlay, the different text and the stats and whatnot. And then after that, we'll see what we'll come back here in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and compile, save. Go into our main menu. Now we're going to go into our blueprints folder in our widget folder, and then we're going to right click and go to blueprint class. And the first one we'll look at is stat overlay. There you go. I want that one. Select. We want widget S. Now you can name this however you want to. I'm just naming it like this, naming convention, just for keeping it within the game. Like RS is basically the initials of the game, so that's what I'm doing with that. So now we're going to open it up, and I'm going to drag this over here. I don't know why it keeps opening up in my other window. That's weird. So if you haven't seen it before, this is basically the design for how do you design your widgets and stuff and whatnot. What we're going to do now is click on canvas, and we're going to drag a canvas panel down into there. And we want to set the desire, we want to fill the screen. So basically this says this is basically the entire screen for the overlay. So imagine this is the player's screen right in here, this, and so I'm going to put like a box up here, or you can do all sorts of other stuff with this overlay system. So now we're going to name this. We're just going to name it canvas overlay. You don't have to name this one, but it's just me being picky. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our graph real quick, and we're going to override a couple of functions. We're going to look for get status container. Yeah, that's the one we want. Let's see. We're going to delete that for now, because this basically is just the default of whatever comes along with the plugin system itself. We don't want that. We want to use ours, the one we're getting ready to create. So let's go ahead and delete this. And then let's see. We're going to go back to designer. And then I'm using a cheat sheet, by the way. Let's see. We're going to add a vertical box, because I just learned to pick this up today. So anchor So the anchor, if you haven't seen this before, is basically where you want, you know, the different boxes and everything to be anchored to. You know, this one will anchor it to the top left, so whenever you resize the screen or something like that, it'll always be in the top left or top right or wherever you want to put it. So I want this to be up at the top left. I'm going to zero these out so it's there in the corner, and then size I want, let's do 150 and 150. Let's do 300. There we go. All right. So now this vertical box, we're actually going to call this one VBox overlay. Enter. We're going to promote this to a variable. And what this allows us to do is go in here, the graph. We grab that here, and then boom. That's it for that. I wish it was just it, but we still got a lot more to go. We're about like we're like 1/4 of the way through. So compile and save. And then let's see, designer. Do I want to call it? No, I want to call this a container because that's what it is. VBox container. So whenever you name something in this, it's actually, thankfully you don't have to go back through and change it here because it actually automatically updates it. Thank God. It'll do that, you know, if you like changing, like, and if you have this in other areas, you know, shared in other areas, it'll actually propagate down the line. So you don't have to like search out every little place you put, you know, VBox container or something like that. Compile and save. So then, okay. Going to create a new blueprint. And this one is going to be our stat entry. So we're going to look for a stat entry. This is the one we want. Going to select. And we're going to call it widget. Widget stat entry. I'm going to hit enter. And then we're going to open it up. And then after that, it's click on graph. So next thing we need to pick up is we have to override some functions, some get functions. And we need get stat value. We need get stat name, text, and then get stat modifier container, and get modifier container. Those are the three we need. So we're going to go in here and we're going to do this. We're going to delete. Do this, delete. Do this and delete. Okay, so, yeah, all right, we're doing good. I'm going to go to designer. And then we want this to be a custom size. Desired custom. We want 350 by 50. That's good. That's already like that. Probably because that's what I did earlier, so it automatically saved it. We're going to add a vertical box. Bloop. And then we are going to name it VBox modifier. It's important to have a good naming convention for all the stuff you do, because you need to be able to, you know, whenever you like do debug and stuff like that, you need to be able to like go, oh, I know where that is. So this little good naming conventions for all your stuff helps. Rule of thumb. So yeah, we have promoted to variable. That's what I did, and then. Sorry, horizontal box. I need to learn how to spell. And then let's see. Going to Add the horizontal box. And well, sorry, give me just a little bit. I need my glasses. It's the whole getting older thing. Oh my gosh, do I need to clean this? Oh. Better. All right, so now we're going to add a horizontal box. We're going to add 2 text to this box. Text, not test. Text. 1 and then 2. And then we're going to do really. Sorry. Okay. I know this is how I did it before. It's just, you know, when you go through it a second time, you're like, did I really do it like that? All right, fine. So we're going to look at these 2 texts. We're going to click on one. We're going to just change. Well, first we're going to change this. We're going to call this stats or status. Or stats, and then we're going to text, call this text underscore stat name, promote the variable. This one we're going to force it over to the keep it to the right, fill, and then the fill will it'll fill to the right. That's basically how it's supposed to work. And we're going to change the text to this one to like 5 or something like that, or just do something with it, or 10. We'll just put 10 there. Do I want to change the font? Well, I'll change the font later, but let's go ahead, let's get through this first, and then we'll get to that here in a little bit. We're going to change this to text underscore stat value is variable. So we're in a box, and then we're going to tear the VBox underscore modifier container enter. Can't remember if I'm actually supposed to do that as a variable or not, but I'm going to do it anyways. So click on graph, and we're going to, this one is the modifier container. Whoop. Okay. Oh. Okay, there we go. That's what we want. Then we want the stats name, and we want to plug that in there. And then we want what's the value, and then we put the stats value into there. File, save, and then let's see. So new BP. And the new one is going to be wow, I didn't put that name on there. I'm doing good. Modifier, I think it's modifier. Modifier entry, that's the one. Select. And we want to call this GT RS entry. Going to open it up. And then, let's see. So we're going to go to graph. We're going to override two different values. We're going to get tag list. So basically what the tag list is for, you know, whenever you like assign different items to a tag, like fire, lightning, ice, poison. So those are the tags. Those are basically what the multiplayer combat editor uses tags for, is to basically to be able to label those things. And you can use those tags in different ways throughout the blueprints. This is one of them, which I like a lot. So we're going to delete that. And then we're going to override another function. Pull it down a little bit. Get modifier value text. Delete that. File, save. We're going to go to designer. And let's see. We're going to add just a horizontal box. And then, yeah, I think we did 350 by 350 here as well. Yep. And then we want two text. Gonna add these here. Then we're gonna name this. Text underscore tag names, what I'm going to call it, because that's a pulling from the tag. And then we're just going to say, just put that there, right? And then fill, we'll do something like +10, just for a value. Then we're going to call this text modifier value, and let's see. That's been promoted to variable. Horizontal box. We're going to name this hbox. Mod container. Learn to type. Go ahead and make a value of that one as well. And then sorry. Okay, so we want get tag list. So that's going to be tag names going to go into here. And then we're going to get modifier, the modifier value that goes there. So I guess I didn't need to set that to a variable anyways, but we'll keep it just in case. Compile, save. Go to the status overlay widget. Okay. And then we need to, class defaults. Go to graph, class defaults, and we want to specify. Did I call that? I did, didn't I? Oh. 1 second. Sorry. Rename. Okay. Default. There we go. Just make sure that we're actually clicking on the one we want to do that. Compile, save. And then go to stat entry widget, and we want to go to class defaults, and we want our stat modifier entry. Compile, save, and then okay, so this is where we go back to this, and then we select our overlay that we want, and that's we select that. So that's one we just finished working through on. Save, and we hope really hard I didn't mess anything up. I'm going to click on play. New game. Debug to just quickly bring up a quick game to see if I actually did it right. Please. Nope. Totally messed up. Par for the course. Oh man. Okay, let's figure out what I did wrong. Let's go back here. So we got the stats, stamina. We got that. That's all correct. Let's see. This usually the reason it doesn't show is because I probably messed up somewhere on the designer somewhere, like this thing. Whoop. Hold on. Sorry. Am I doing it right? I don't think I'm doing it right. Yeah, I think I messed up. Nope. Man, what did I do wrong? I should have done this like 5 or 6 more times before I actually, did this. BP on ready. No, it's supposed to be stat manager. I did that. Did the branch. It's locally controlled. True. And the spawn stats overlay. I chose the right. Oh, I know what I did. Get player controller. Wow. Save. Play. Takes a little while when you're working with the debug map. Nope, still broken. Great. Okay. This is the time when I'm actually glad there are no viewers. Because this would just totally be embarrassing. Oh man. Okay, so I got that right. Our stats overlay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to pull this down. Stats container, that's the VBox container that works. And then we connect the VBox container, create a new blueprint, and it's called RS stat entry. Click on graph. Override get stat value text, get stat value name, stat name, get modifier container. Modified container. Yep. See, this is basically where I'm messing up, where it's actually, you know, where I'm actually doing something wrong. Oops. Okay. Whoops, that's not the one I wanted.
Our stat value and stat name is contained in the box which we specified was our modifier container box. So the
I love this
current
guy's
method
accent.
is removing everything from that box. So we actually need to add a new vertical box to our main box. This is going to be our vbox mod container. This is going to be a variable, and we're going to go to graph, and we're going to drag and drop this into, we're going to go to modifier container function, and we're going to drag and drop our newly created vbox into the other variable like this. We're going to hit compile, hit save, hit play, and
Okay.
then you can
So,
see
yeah, I
you
think I might
have
have-
your container. This is going to be a
Okay,
variable.
so now I need to actually check to make sure, see if I got this right.
Box to our main box. This is going to be our vbox mod container. This is going to be a variable, and we're going to go to graph, and we're going to drag and drop this into, we're going to go to modifier container function, and we're going to drag and drop our newly created vbox into the other variable like this. We're going to hit compile, hit save, hit
Well,
play.
okay. Yeah, that's all correct. Sorry, I'm trying to think of everything I went through. pretty sure I went through everything the way I was supposed to. Nope. Still not there. All right. Blew that one. Sorry, guys. Wow. It's going to take some figuring out here. So, BB Stat Manager. That's plugged in. That's plugged in. Is locally controlled. That's there. That goes to that. That goes to the SpawnSAS overlay. This is then plugged into that. Get player controller. Oh man. This is a good plugin. It's me.
Main box. This is going to be our VBox mod container. This is going to be a variable, and we're going to go to graph. And we're going to drag and drop this into, we're going to go to modifier container function, and we're going to drag and drop our newly created VBox into the other variable, like this. We're going to hit compile, hit save, hit play, and then you can see you have your...
Well, you're supposed to see that you have your stats. Did all that. Huh. I'm going to sound off for a little while and try to figure out what I've done. I'll be back later.